Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot how many wants to talk to. Dear friends, my name is Carmela Gear and I am the Executive Director of the Edward King House. And I can't promise that I'm going to keep it. It is with heavy hearts of profound sadness that we gather today as we mourn the loss of our beloved friend, Lindy Nettleton. She departed this world leaving behind a legacy that will forever be etched in the hearts of those who had the privilege of knowing and working with her. Lindy was not just a leader, she was the heartbeat of our theater community here at the Edward King House. Her passion for the performing arts, unwavering commitment, and boundless creativity were instrumental in shaping our program into the vibrant and inclusive space that it is today. Her influence extended beyond the stage, impacting the lives of seniors, colleagues, and all who were fortunate to be a part of her journey. We will always remember Lindy for her dedication to fostering talent, encouraging innovation, and instilling a deep appreciation for the arts in everyone she encountered, really, whether you liked it or not. Her kindness, generosity, and infectious enthusiasm created a sense of camaraderie that made our theater community feel like a family. In this difficult time, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Marian and Clyde, her family and friends who could not be with us today. May they find solace in the knowledge that she touched the countless lives, all surrounding you right now and those who are not here today, and left an indelible mark on our hearts. As we mourn the loss of a remarkable individual, let us celebrate the legacy Lindy leaves behind. Let us celebrate this beautiful soul who made the world better simply by sharing it with all of us on and off stage, but most especially off stage. I now welcome Lindy's sister Marian to the podium.
What a fantastic round of friends and colleagues to the celebration of Lindy's life. I'm trying to keep it together. Now, I'm just going to mention about when we were young. With being from a family, a naval family, Lindy and I moved around the world a lot of times, like all forces families do. Our formative years were spent living in an old army fort in a village in Cornwall, in England, with other forces families. Here we played and both started ballet and tap lessons. We also played and both started, we had, our mother made our costumes and we loved them. When Lindy was 3 and I was 5, our father was posted to Hong Kong, where we joined him there. Here, we both learned to swim and spent many happy days with our family, going on boat trips called Banyans, to little beaches, and our favourite being Big Wave Bay. We would have picnics and swim with other families. Memories of our mother reading fairy stories from Hans Christian Andersen before we went to bed, then being tucked up and kissed goodnight. From Hong Kong, we went to Lossiemouth in Scotland, and it's the very north of Scotland. and on our long walks to school, sometimes in the deep snow in the winter, which seemed to be way, snow was up here above our heads, but we were only 7 and 9 at the time, so maybe we were exaggerating. As you can imagine, we moved to many places, but when we were in Gillingham in Kent, Lindy started singing lessons. She had a really lovely voice and went in for competitions, and she really enjoyed singing. Whilst we were here in Gillingham, before we flew out to Singapore, our father said to us, "The next 2 years of your life are going to be the best. Enjoy them." Well, I think we did. She used to go to school, and she had a friend called Karen, and on occasions they used to bunk up off of school and go to the shops. Here she met a lovely friend and a lifetime friend called Jane, and they spent many happy hours together, going to the local Macan stalls, which are food stalls, in Hong Kong and in Singapore, too many places we visited. And she loved Chinese food. Whilst we were out there, sadly our father became seriously ill. And we returned to Portsmouth in England, where he sadly passed away. Lindy continued her education here and went on to be employed by a banking company, installing mainframe computers in banks around the country. It was around this time that Lindy met Tom, a US pilot and her future husband, and moved to America. When she first arrived in the States, to make a little pin money, she made and sold Cornish pasties. Lindy was a really good cook and loved her food. She went on and got a degree at URI, and as a family we were privileged and so proud to attend her graduation. It really was a fantastic day. Lindy then became a nurse. Lindy's passion was always the theatre, both in England and here in Rhode Island. She did many plays, through which she made so many friends out here. Look. And as we know, friends are the family we choose. Lindy was a kind, compassionate, funny, loving, and always encouraging lady. We spent many happy times rolling about in bits of giggles, and there were many more stories, but there's too many to tell. After her divorce, she returned to the UK for 5 years, and before I hand over to Clive for his part, I would like to just say one of Lindy's favourite cartoon characters, Winnie the Pooh. You may be gone from my sight, but you are never gone from my heart. And thank you all. Thank you.
We now welcome Clive Anderson to the podium.
Paul? But I'm not used to this.
Actually, I'm not used to
Oh,
this.
hello? Oh, right, well, I know many of you, but other than about 3 or 4 people I only met today for the very first time, who've obviously known Lindy a long time, I know all of you. And the only reason I know you is because of Lindy. In late December 1991, I had gone to a 50th birthday party of a good friend of mine, who was he had a business in London, and so did I, and he had his 50th birthday down in Petworth in Sussex, which is just outside London, 20 or 30 miles outside London. Now, Andrew, his name, he basically had 2 lives. He had his London section and he had his out of London section, of which Marion and her husband Chris were part. But the 2 sort of sections of pals and friends never really overlapped. So I never knew her, even though I'd known her for years, and so had she. So we went to this 50th birthday party, to which she and her husband Chris had been invited. But pretty well at the last minute, or very late on the day, Chris became ill and couldn't attend. And Lindy was visiting. So Marion, who, by the way, whose email address is marionpartyanimal.com, persuaded or talked to Lindy, and they decided to go together. Chris's illness has resulted in me being here today, talking with you. It's quirky, isn't it? But it's true. And I then spent the next 32 years with Lindy, which, far from a few hiccups in the early days, due to me carrying a lot of emotional baggage from a previous relationship, has been the most wonderful years of my life. And what's it about? It's extraordinary. All these notes here, I don't really need them. She was the most extraordinary woman. Many of you here know her abilities and talents in theatre, for which she had extraordinary, most horrific stage fright to perform live audience. In fact, the last thing she ever did, I believe, was right here in this room in 2015, when she did the monologue of Molly Bloom on Bloomsday with our good friend here, Mike Healy, who persuaded her, thank God you did persuade her, to do that, and which anyone who was here that day will never forget, because it was truly, truly moving. I'm going to get all sorts of sloppy otherwise. Yeah. Okay. She was a big personality in me, which is when she returned to England after separating from Tom, realised that England was too small. I mean, it's a small country with 60, 70 million people crammed into something the size of a couple of postage stamps. And you can't find anywhere to park, park's always crowded, restaurants have to book a week to get in. And it's such a general way it is with a small island with a big number of people. So after we met and talked about it, and we moved in and rented a place down in the country there in Sussex and Singleton, we decided, well, Lindy already had a place there. She had a condo on Cold Beach Road in Bel Air. And I had been to the States many, many times over the years and loved it here. In fact, I first came here in 1948 as a 5-year-old. Yeah. I don't remember much of that. So we decided we had to either live in the UK or here. So the question was easy. It was an easy choice. Here was the obvious answer to be here in Newport, which, while I accept this and perhaps typical US, it's a wonderful place to live. And all of you here today, I've met because of that. It's wonderful. Because of Lindy bringing me here as a war bride, as she said. Yeah, again, sort of war bride. So, anyhow, so we came back here and she, got involved with theatre again, and she had always been a big love. And we talked to Carmela Gear one day, some years ago, and said, I'm not I don't want to do theatre really much anymore because of the stage fright, but perhaps I could get some interested people to do play reading stuff. And the rest, as they say sometimes, is the history really, local history, basically. Where she decided that the place she wanted to create was a place where people, even those who've never had any public speaking or talking at all, or performing, could act and talk and be in front of people in a safe environment without fear of ridicule. And she achieved that. In spades, she achieved that. And that program is still running here today. 8 years, is it 8 years coming out now? It must be 8 years.
8, 9, yeah.
9 years in September, still running here today. Now under the guidance of Rob Rivers. Rob here? Oh, there you go. There it is. Thank you, Rob. Anyway, I suppose we all know the sort of person she was. She had this enormous laugh, which we heard in Jamestown. Huge personality, a very distinctive and loud voice. And of course, we then went on to record, had a successful career in recording audiobooks, of which she recorded over 70. That budding career, and she was hugely popular. She had a fantastic number of fans online, on Audio Live, Audio Go, or whatever it's called. Anyway, I'm obviously rambling on here. I'm going to get the thing in a minute. But COVID came along and hit that firmly in the bud, so she had to stop doing that. But all those books are still out there, and I have copies that you want. I suppose I don't have a lot more to say other than I loved her dearly. She was the most important thing that ever, bar one other thing, which was what that happened to me in my life, and I will never forget the generosity of spirit extended to so many people. She would always find good in somebody if she could. I never heard her speak badly of anyone except certain modern politicians. So, I am, of course, on a more serious note, another emotion, but I'm extremely angry that something extraordinary person should be taken so early by this appalling disease, which wrecked her body towards the end so rapidly. And I've had tremendous support from my immediate neighbours, immediately around us, who've been beyond supportive. And our other friends, it's been wonderful, and it's because of her. She loved you, really she did. I suppose that's enough. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to say a few words about Lindy. And adjectives, there are so many adjectives that really none of them really capture her. I could say that she was larger than life. That would be an understatement. I could say that she had a boundless sense of humor, which was infectious, and all of these things are true, and a lot of what was said earlier really appropriate. But a few words I want to say about our dear friend Lindy. You know that every now and again, a chance encounter turns into a treasured friendship. And that certainly is the case, having met Clive and Lindy. I'm pretty sure that we met through a theatre encounter, and that, of course, was appropriate, as Lindy loved the stage and the spoken and written word. We all knew Lindy to be effusive and yet a deeply caring person. To be in her company was to be uplifted in spirit. Her indomitable, positive spirit was never even slightly diminished by the many physical challenges that she had. And that is a testament to her courage and fortitude. One of the other aspects of Lindy I want to mention was how beautifully she spoke. I believe myself that the English, the British speak their own language more beautifully than anybody. And Lindy spoke in a crystal clear manner with all of the lovely attending British tones and overtones. A few years ago, Lindy was cast as Molly Bloom in our local production of Bloomsday. This role includes a monologue that has to rank as one of the most challenging ever put down on paper, but arguably one of the greatest soliloquies ever written for an actress. Lindy did not disappoint. In fact, I remember many of us in tears at the end of that monologue, including myself. And that is a testament to her artistic talent. Lindy also loved sailing. He experienced this as a child, and when we were sailing together, you could see that Lindy was in her element. She truly loved being on the water. If, as I said at the beginning, that some people enhance and enchant our lives, then Lindy's passing has diminished us in so many ways. In fact, the world is diminished by her passing. Godspeed, my friend. Thank you for all wonderful time. We miss you immeasurably, and sincerest condolences to everyone. On a lighter note, Lindy had a favorite poem, which I want to read to you. The Owl and the Pussycat, by Edward Lear. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey, plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar, "Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, you are, you are, what a beautiful pussy you are." Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married. Too long have we tarried, but what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the balm tree grows. And there in a wood, a piggy-wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, his nose, his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. Hand in hand, on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon, the moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon.